This is Strabane, peeking out of the Mourne Valley at the Irish border, and just a month ago the most COVID-infected town in the UK. Weeks of lockdown in Northern Ireland have brought the infection rate down by 70%, but the cost to the economy of Strabane and neighbouring Londonderry, reliant on cross-border trade and soon to face the full effects of Brexit, is harder to calculate.
There isn't that spare capacity to deal with a downturn in a city that really is still struggling with the long-term impacts of the closure of the shipping industry. But yes, economically, as I say, 2008, the economic recession was much worse in the areas that were already weakest. Derry is the weakest economy. Derry and Strabane are the weakest economies in Northern Ireland, and they will be the ones that suffer the most.
Hundreds of bombings in a town of just over 10,000 people took their toll during decades of armed struggle against British rule. But one shopkeeper told me this is worse. In a clothing shop across the street, another said the lights are on, but no one's buying.
The anxiety is just crazy at the minute. When we reopened in June, there was a certain amount of optimism of where we were going to be in the future of the next 6 months. But to be sort of facing the bigger set of problems now, and granted the time of year that it's leading into, it's heartbreaking. But we have to sort of rise above it and try and be optimistic that we will get through it, and there will be business at the end of this as well.
When the Peace Bridge came to Derry nearly a decade ago, it seemed to signal better times ahead, built with European Union funds, connecting divided communities, a sectarian past giving way to a European future. But first Brexit and now COVID-19 have put paid to much of that.
We still haven't overcome the fact that Belfast is the dominant part of the political culture of Northern Ireland, and Belfast is favoured, and that is an inescapable reality of the western part of Northern Ireland.
With 1 in 3 people out of work, majority nationalist sentiment in Derry and Strabane has consigned the area to decades of underdevelopment and neglect. There's nothing in its immediate future that's likely to change that. Jonah, Al Jazeera, Derry and Strabane.